Wow, Shakiva and Anna, that was so riveting. One of the lines really stuck with me. The shame is sometimes unbearable in being what I am. One of the things I love best about writing and this community that brings writers together is that it makes you feel less lonely. So thank you for sharing all of your stories with us.
It takes so much courage to come up here and read in front of an audience, I should know. This is my 4th year doing this. And I'm still blown away by every girl who chooses to share her story with us. You are all amazing. Please give it up for all the girls who have read so far tonight. We have heard so many moving pieces already, and I can't wait to hear more in the second half of our evening. But before we get to that, Tiffany and I are going to share a bit of our work.
Love you, Fanny. Oh, wow, that was really loud. Okay, so my piece, prompted by conversations with strangers and seeing how outsiders see me, is about my identity as an Asian American. Okay. I guess I sort of live in my school's book room. It's this magical storage room of the English department books. Magical not only because there are books, but also moving shelves on which these books are placed. The 3rd crank is broken. We've dubbed him Bob. The 10th shelf I have no name for, but it's my favorite because it's home to Gatsby and Oscar Wilde. I guess if I live in the book room, then Mr. Grossman's the cranky next-door neighbor who keeps yelling at me to get out of his metaphorical house, i.e. his office, even though he always keeps his door open. He's my teacher and officially the assistant principal of the English department and unofficially a self-declared sociopath. We have a weird relationship. So one day I go into his room and I ask whether it's valid to be offended whenever someone asks where I'm from, because I know they're not asking if I grew up in New York or even in the USA. They're asking if I'm from China, Korea, Japan, or any other Asian American country. I asked Mr. Grossman if it's wrong to assume that's what they're asking, because when it comes down to it, I trust Mr. Grossman like a sarcastic dad. Because, you know, it makes me even more aware that I don't look American, like I look like I don't belong here, while every time I read, I feel like composing a love letter to the English language, while so many of the things that I love are English and European and classic and old, like I swear Doctor Who makes me want to be a Scottish redhead, while I speak perfect English, except when I stutter and stumble, but everybody stutters and stumbles. While I lived in New York City all my life, this glittering, hyper-modern city, between shelves 9 and 10, because those books there, they've in part raised me. In that little book room, neighboring Mr. Grossman, and he tells me that America is composed of so many faces, and with so many variations of American, and so many beautiful mixtures and combinations, that nothing is true American, and everything is, and it is all what we make of it.
Hey, so I'm not really gonna read anything. So my first chapters was a million years ago in 2012, and I read the prologue to a novel I was writing at the time called Martian Girl. Since then, I've discovered and explored other means of telling stories. So I made a little video. It's really awkward and kind of abstract, but whatever. And it shows where I was and where I am now, and a lot of which is due to girls right now.
I'm Mennen. So I'm writing a book called Martian Girl, and the characters are all messed up, just like people are in reality. And that's why books are so great. They're just like reality. This is the prologue of my book, and the tipping point for my character's sanity. Multiverse. So, can anyone tell me what scale is? The teacher, Miss Yuna, asked from the front of the room. She flipped her black hair over her shoulder and smiled at the room full of second graders. She was a nice teacher. All the kids loved her. She would always be Alex's favorite. Anyone? She asked. Stacy shouted without waiting to be called on. I got one in the bathroom. My mom stared on it and she said she's fat. The classroom laughs. No, Stacy, Miss Yoon said with a smile. This is a different kind of scale. In math or science, when you compare the size of one thing to another, you use a scale to show it. So you're comparing size relative to something else. She wrote the words scale, size, and relative on the chalkboard and turned to the class. Can someone define any of these words using their own? Alex raised his hands. Size is how big something is. Yes. She smiled and wrote what he said on the board. Just how big, Alex, or how big or small? I guess how big or small. She turned and continued to write. What about the other two? Relatives are your family, Harold called from the back of the room. Harold always smelled of cheese. Not in this case. Here, relative is when you base your comparison from a feature of one thing to another. Like relative to Porky, suppose the class guinea pig, Porky. I'm really big. You compare my size to Porky's. That's also scale. Now, can anyone think of any other examples? The class met a question with blank stares. Okay, then I'll tell you another one. Compared to Porky, I'm big, but compared to this building, I'm small. Compared to Porky, this building is really big, but compared to the state we live in, the building is small. Get it? Now, compared to America, this building is tiny, but compared to the size of the Earth, America is small. Now, you guys know all your planets, right? Which is the biggest? Miss Yoon searched the array of children and called on Craig. Jupiter. Very, very big Craig. Compared to Jupiter, Earth is small, but compared to the Sun, Jupiter is tiny, tiny, tiny. All the planets in the universe called the Milky Way, like the candy bar. Like the candy bar, she repeated. Now, the Milky Way is like the house for all the planets. They all live there. Compared to the Milky Way, the sun is super small, like the size of an ant to us. There's this thing called the multiverse, which you don't have to remember. The multiverse is like a city of universes. Compared to the multiverse, we're so small we barely exist. If you were the size of the multiverse, your pinky toe would be millions and millions of times bigger than the Earth, the Sun, or even the Milky Way. We're so tiny and irrelevant, we don't matter. Even if we didn't exist, no one would care or notice. Even if you grew up to be the president, you still wouldn't make any disruption or disturbance in the multiverse because your size is so minuscule. You could die and it wouldn't make any difference. The classroom was full of blank stares and scared faces. But then the bell rang and the kids ran out to recess, except Alex. He walked slowly and solemnly. He went outside and watched his best friend Greg play from near the gate. He kept replaying the class in his mind again. You could die and it wouldn't make any difference. You could die and it wouldn't make any difference. He ran over to the sandbox and lay in it, looking up at the sky. He never thought about how small he was or how far away from everything he was. He always thought when he got to his dad's height, he'd be able to reach to the clouds and pull the moon out of the sky for his mother like his dad used to do. But now, even if he did, it wouldn't matter because there are bigger and more important things out there. He'll never be able to do them because he was so small. And now, he really knew it. He wasn't just smaller than the fourth graders who came out to the playground the last 10 minutes of recess, but too small to ever do anything or amount to anything. He wished he could go up to his dad and tell him that when he pulls the moon out of the sky, he's not doing anything. It's not a big deal and it doesn't make a difference. So he just lay in the sand and looked up at the sky and cried. He didn't care that he looked like a baby because he was never going to amount to anything but a baby because he was too small to be important. Mrs. Yoon was a dangerous teacher. That was part of why he liked her so much.
Yeah. So we've heard a lot of powerful work tonight. If you are a teen who loves to write or a professional woman writer, apply to join our mentoring program. Enrollment for next year launches in April. Check out our website to learn more and apply to be a mentee or mentor. Don't be shy about chatting with the readers you just heard or program staff who can be identified by their name tags for more information on how to join the community.
Up next, we have the second half of our reading. We'll start off with Valerie Pereira, who will be sharing her piece called Empty Train Rides.